You're listening to The Middle Age Gamers from Dimension X.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to MAGDX. I am GI Gamer 1981, aka Dan Gleebits, and this guy over here is the graphic artist for Premium Edition Games and the author of the Video Games Collector's Field Guide, and possibly something new in the future, a new project coming soon. Tristan Ibarra, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Dealing with the whole depression thing and stuff, but I find that whenever I do some things that I actually want to do and things that like excite me, I come out of that depression. So maybe I do need to talk to a therapist. Natalie's been telling me that I need to, because like I'm trying to get my pills right, like my medication right, but it doesn't seem to be working, and maybe I have some like underlying issues that I need to like bring to the surface. Who knows? But I've always tied my self-worth to like what I've accomplished, and I have a very like goldfish brain. I don't remember the stuff that I've done yesterday. So if I don't accomplish something like today, I feel like a piece of shit. That's just how
No,
I
you
am.
should feel that way. My problem is that like I have the same kind of bowl, but my bowl is like if I feel like I'm failing at something, boy, I get mad at myself because I feel like what I deem failure is like my no offense to my old family, but my family would be doing silly stuff like, did you hear about your cousin that stuck her hand in a soda machine and tried to grab quarters out of it and got her hand stuck, and then she went to jail? You're just
Whoa.
like whoa.
Be like,
And
wow, I'm doing pretty good.
so the concept of failure is like when people tell me I'm failing, I put that context to that, and like it just
Oh.
makes me really mad. I hate failing. Failing sucks. I hate it. I hate when people are talented, more talented than me. It just drives me nuts because I want to be talented like that.
Well, see, that's what sucks for me though. Like, I have three siblings. I have two younger sisters and an older brother, and like none of them are screw ups. They haven't taken one for the team, so I. It's not like I can compare myself to a screw up sibling. I don't have them. They're all good people. How
Yeah,
dare them?
I wish my family is like. I have okay. Funny story. So we've talked about this before of my great uncle Bruce. My uncle Bruce is like a legend in Maryland, and what would happen was
Oh no!
he had this
Is,
he had this
is this the
he had
guy?
this yeah.
I think it's
He's
just the guy.
Road Soda
Yeah,
Uncle
road
Bruce.
soda. Yes.
Road Soda Bruce, as I'll call him. But he had one of those Viking 80 vans with the shag carpet on the inside, like those big Dodge vans, like kind of like A-Team.
Yeah.
And dude,
Did it
in
have the
Maryland,
howling wolf on the side?
no, naked Viking lady.
Oh, even better.
The wolf one would be pretty cool too. I mean, assuming it had to be somewhere in the moon, but he had naked Viking lady. So what would happen is in Maryland, this is a true story. He went to jail one time. I went with his wife at the time to go with her, to help out with something when I was a kid. But the cop was like, "Is that your uncle?" And I was like, "Yes, sir." And he's like, we have meetings about him every week, right?" And I said, "Excuse me?" And he's like, "We have a picture of your uncle's vehicle in our meeting room, and if they see this vehicle out there, then we need to pull it over immediately and take his keys and make him
Oh
either go home
no.
or arrest him." So he kept getting in trouble. And so, dude, he has like there's no way he's ever getting his license for the rest of his life. Like nothing. So now, like when he lived in Arizona, like he takes like the sky trams. They have like sky trams there, and he just takes his bush light on the train and just goes just goes to town, goes to work. Yeah, it's wild, dude. Like absolutely wild. But
Damn.
it was so funny that a cop had to tell me, like, hey, by the way, your uncle is like legendary for being a DUI like champion over here. It's
That's
wild.
crazy, dude.
So it's weird with my family because it's like, man, there's so many failures, you know what I mean, in my family. But like you just kind of get used to it. So I've always put in the context of if I'm failing, I'm being like them. and so I try to like not
Hey,
do that.
I can tell you right now, I've known you long enough, and I know your work ethic. You are not anywhere near a failure. So if that's ever in your head, I will come over and kick you in the junk.
I
I
am
would do that
more
for you.
I would. I'm more of a guy that just falls on his ass and gets embarrassed for a second, and then I have to fake it out, and then redo it again, and then I'm like, all right, cool. I don't ever land on the first time. I'm that guy that always eats shit the first time, and then you figure it out, and then you work through it.
Well, yeah. So we've all had like the secret to life is obviously learning from your mistakes and trying to minimize those mistakes to small ones, not significant ones. But the significant ones are hard lessons learned, right? Everyone's got them. Everyone's human. We're not perfect, but you know. Oh gosh, yeah, it's those moments that you think back on, and it's the stuff that keeps you up at night. Like your mind, you're trying to turn your brain off, and you just think about that thing that you did like 7 years ago. You're like, what the hell was I thinking? Yeah, just try and
I get
minimize that
mad.
stuff.
I get mad that I'm like, I think of something better that I could have said or something like that. Like today, for example, I'll tell you this funny story. I I am horrible at writing. Horrible at writing. So
Mm.
I'm just like I'm like brief it to the point. This happened. So it's A B C D. But then like my boss writes it and it sounds like he's wiped his ass with silk, like when he writes it. And it drives me crazy because I'm like, I'm trying to do that in my brain. Like I'm trying to think of the same thing he's writing, but he could articulate it so much better than me. And I was teasing him today about it. I was like, dude, I was like, you wiping your ass with silk with this damn freaking this dang letter. It's driving me nuts. It's just the
Yeah,
way it
see,
is like that. It just sucks.
Geski's calling me right now. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm
put him on. No,
obviously not gonna.
no, put
No,
him
no, no,
on. Put
no.
him on. You put that no on. Put him on.
Hold
I
on,
want.
I'm going to message him while we're recording and just let
You
him know
put
that
him
we're
on,
recording.
Jeff. Thanks a lot. Thanks for ruining our taping.
Okay.
Next time
I just put we're
now he's
recording
not
right
going to
now.
stop.
LOL.
By the way, he's not going to stop now. He's going to keep messing around. He's going to keep messing around. This is not going to
Hey
stop.
Jeff. Hey Jeff. Sorry I didn't answer you, but Coffin and I are having a conversation about some important life things.
Yeah, we were talking middle age lessons with Amara and Coffin.
Yeah. Hey, as soon as we start talking about cardiology and the anatomy of the heart, um, I see. That's how stupid I am. There's probably a better term for that. Um, then we'll answer whenever you call and we're recording.
No, when we want to talk about fallopian tubes, we'll call Jeff.
Fallopian tubes. Oh gosh.
Middle-aged fallopian tubes of Dimension X.
So what I was gonna say is, like I consider myself to be a good writer. I feel like that's one of my strong suits, but I'm not near as good a writer as my dad is. So I'll take my own writing and then push it to him and then put it through his filter, and it's even better.
Yeah, I
Nine
don't know what
times
they.
out of 10.
By the way, I want to know like it's so my boss is from the same probably timeline as your dad, and I'm like
Hmm.
in that era for some reason they're all like really damn good writers, and I want to know what their damn secret is, like where they got
Actually,
it
I
from.
I think I know the secret, and I stumbled onto it today whenever I was trolling my parents. So I'm writing an article right now. And well, no. This is my new book. Sorry.
Yep.
My new book, which I'll get into a little bit later. But I needed the dimensions of a dictionary, like a pocket-sized dictionary. And so I called up my parents, and I'm like, "Hey, I was thinking I needed to do a dictionary, but I don't have one." And I'm like, "Only old people have dictionaries." "Oh, I know, my parents." So I called my parents, and of course they had a dictionary. So, but my dad, like he, like kind of ribbed me, and he's like, only real writers have dictionaries. So I think that's it. You have to have a physical dictionary at your book. to be a good
That's
writer.
it. I'm gonna go get one. But see, like, here's the thing I do when I'm writing. I won't like my words, and I'll literally go into Google and I'll look up synonyms immediately, just like the old days when you used to do your
Oh
performance
yeah, dude.
report.
So a thesaurus is something that I actually do keep at my desk. I use that all the time. I mean,
And
that's like being in the Air Force and having to write all those bullets and freaking like awards and crap. Like thesaurus is your friend because
I,
there's only so many ways to say that you spearheaded something.
you quarterbacked. That's my
Yeah,
favorite one.
quarterbacked.
Quarterbacked.
Led the
Lead,
charge.
manage MG ED
Yeah, MGD. Freaking stupid
hyphen
ass Air Force.
hyphenate. Hey,
Like
I didn't say that.
you
By the way, I
I
work for
I
them.
did.
You guys are great.
No.
You guys were
He endorses
wonderful.
what I say. Like everything that I say, he
Nope.
agrees with.
Nope.
We already. I'm
Team Air
putting that in
Force.
writing. I'm gonna put that like before the.
Team Air Force. I'm with you all day. Nope. All words and guidelines go through Tristan Barr Inc. and only to his incorporation. So that is all him.
All views and things said on this podcast are reflective of both of our
Nope.
views
Nope.
and beliefs.
I love them. They're my best friends. They're my heroes. Love all of them. They're great peoples.
As much as I did love like serving in the Air Force, just like you did. I joke around about some of the silly things that we had to do from day to day, and that is one of the silly things that we had to do. That it's so stupid that you have to craft these stupid ass bullets into these oh gosh, it was such a waste of time. Like putting as much information on one line as possible. Like I
love
get it, but it was a waste of time.
I love it.
You love it?
I love writing. I love writing.
I was never
Writing's
good at
great.
it.
Writing is great. I'll just do them all the way across. Air Force, the performance reports are excellent.
Are you
It's the best.
Are you about to start singing the Air Force song?
Off we go into the wobble yonder, sir. Climbing high into the sun. Love them.
Into the sun. Yeah, I think
Here we come. The Zoomer meter thunder. Attaboys, give him the gun.
Give her the gun.
See, I knew you had to say it. No, I'm busting you. I knew you had to say it. If I say that word, you have to say it. That's the funny portion of that song. If you say Attaboys, give him the gun, you have to repeat it. It's required and wired by law.
It is. It's wired into my brain. Like I was trying to fight it, and it just like slipped out.
Nope. I enjoyed my time. I had a lot of fun, and I want to thank you for your service, and thank you for every person's service out there that listens to it. I know that you guys are going through a lot of stuff, and I appreciate all of you. Team Air Force all day. That's right. Fly your way.
Respect.
All right, today we're going to talk about a possible new World Championship from Nintendo. Xbox might be their Eiffel Tower might be falling. Resident Evil 9 might have had a leak setting for their new game. World Video Hall of Fame 2024 was just announced, so we'll go over the games that got in and the games that got to the door, but they weren't old enough to show their IDs, so they got kicked out.
Oh, wow.
And then a little bit about Switch 2, a possible drop date. Get ready, because scalpers are just clamming at the day that one drops.
Oh, they're chomping at the bit, man.
So first, we're gonna go over a couple pickups. I know Abar doesn't have any pickups, but I do have a couple. One that shout out to Jenny from Ben's Game Zone. I never seen this before, and I just had to pick it up. By the way, hilarious story. I brought this home, and my kids saw it, and I'm gonna let you pick which one picked up that certain item we got at Ben's on Saturday.
Okay.
Which one of the youngsters grabbed it first? Because as soon as I put it down, it was gone immediately.
Which one? I mean, are you going to show the thing that you got, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which kid? By the way, this is exclusive on YouTube. If you want to check it out.
I want to say Leland. No?
You're so close.
Okay. I don't think it would have been Logan.
No. It was It was Lucas.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Lucas saw this, and he likes squishy stuff, and he also likes monsters. By the way, if it's at night, he'll throw this thing right out the door. So I came home, I went to sleep because I was kind of feeling under the weather, and I came back and it was gone. And I was like, all right, who took it? And everyone was like, I didn't take it, and that whole thing. And of course, I go under Lucas's bed, and what do I find? This little guy underneath his bed. So what this is that this is made by Nyko. I did some research on this.
Mhm.
This is called their what was it? Glow monsters. And so it has a light in the eye. It connects to the side here, so you don't need no like external power, batteries, or anything into this thing. It has a little adapter piece on it, and it's only for Game Boy Color. So like it won't fit on the GBA. I tried like every single thing. I tried a Game Boy. This is the only one it connects to. Which I think is silly, by the way. The Game Boy Color, Nintendo, how do you not put a backlit screen on this? Like I don't get it.
Nintendo, if nothing else, is frustrating but iterative. So like they don't go for the full gusto. Like they wouldn't put an OLED screen on their first Switch. They had to have that iteration, like a step up. So
It just drives me crazy. Like,
yeah,
dude, like they did that, and then the Game Boy Advance. Come on, Game Boy Advance should have been like the time to shine, and then they still didn't do it. Ugh.
yeah. Game Boy Advance was just a CPU boost, making it like a Super Nintendo.
Yep, which I love.
But yeah, still no backlight until the SP, and even then it was a front light.
Yeah,
And until the 101, that was a backlight.
But I think it's a cool display piece just to put on the wall. I have like a ton of these Game Boy Colors, so like I can just post it up and like display it. I think it looks really cool. I don't like the monster controllers, but I think
those
it
are
was
weird.
You know how kids are with like gooey monster stuff in the 90s. Like this is totally
creepy
90s.
crawlers, man.
Yeah. Big bad Beetleborgs. Come on now. Big bad Beetleborgs. And then
I do have one pickup.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, I do.
Uh-oh.
I got a Dr. Pepper creamy coconut.
You gotta try
I'm about to try. Yeah, taste
First
test
time.
here. Actually, I have two pickups, so I'll do this after your other one too. Not bad. Very coconutty. I don't really taste the Dr. Pepper. It's very coconutty. I actually like it.
I got my zero sugar. Dr. Pepper out here, please sponsor me. I will love you forever.
Sponsor this guy.
You'll save me so much money. I put like literally 1 million kids through college for you. So, I know we were talking about wrestling last week. I don't know if you knew about this organization, but I am a fucking mark for ECW, and these DVDs were so hard to find because the only place that sold these were at Suncoast, and they were like really expensive.
I knew you were going to say Suncoast.
So this is WrestlePalooza 97. Pioneer was the one that did them. They would do the releases for them. ECW was like really hard to find, and I love that organization. Do you know anything about ECW?
I mean, yeah, like they were the Extreme back in the day, but like, I'll be honest, I didn't know ECW was back in the 90s. I didn't know that.
So, okay. They basically made Attitude Era, if you really want to know.
Oh.
Everything they were doing in there, they were like drinking and freaking barbed wire matches.
Yeah, barbed wire.
I
definitely
great
watched
storylines. The crowd was insane. I was laughing the other night. I was watching one of the pay-per-views, and excuse my French, but they were like yelling like "You suck dick, you suck dick." Like the chants, like the chant thing that the crowd does. That's from ECW.
Oh, that's
Philly dudes.
there.
It was okay. So they had a bingo hall in Philadelphia, and they would put on like kind of local indie shows, and it got so big that other wrestlers would go to it. And Paul Heyman, if you know who he is, he ran it, and it just it's weird. It just exploded out of nowhere. It was like they joke, Tommy Dreamer jokes. It's like the Napster of wrestling. Like it just came out of nowhere, had no rules. Everyone was like checking it out. Like we used to tape trade when we used to watch wrestling shows. So like that's how I found out about ECW. I
Yeah.
would trade tapes. You would mail. You would like put in the thing. You would mail someone a tape, and so like you would give them your tapes, and then they would send you other tapes, and you'd watch them, and then you pass them on to another person, and they just went around everywhere. And like that's how I found out about like the Mick Foley barbed wire death matches and all kinds of stuff. It's with people
Crazy.
taping stuff. It's funny because Chris Jericho was on those lists of like tape traders and stuff like that. So like wrestlers were actually trying to get tapes too to watch other wrestling organizations and things like that. So pretty wild stuff, but it's just hard to find these because they didn't sell them that long. And so I'm a big mark for ECW. It's my favorite wrestling organization ever. I love all the wrestling matches. I love all the chaos. I love the crowds. The crowds are just so funny. Like every chant they do is just inappropriate. Like they were on one of the tapes I watched. It was really funny. It was they have a guy called Amish Roadkill. So he's this big, huge Amish guy, and he's like in the full gear. He's got the hat and the beard and stuff like that. And they're like, "You're a fat shit. You're a fat shit," and like clapping and stuff. It's so stupid. I really want. I need to like one time bring you over and like watch one of them and let you check it out. It's crazy. It's so
Mhm.
good. But yeah, that's my pickups for this week. We'll have more this weekend. We're going to a toy thing this weekend, and also to Ben's where we can show him off his secret present.
Mhm.
His little
So
secret
I
present.
have one more thing.
Okay.
And if you're a gamer out there and you want to smell like fresh soap all day long, get this.
Ooh, Irish
I'm not
Spring.
just talking about deodorant. This particular one. It's amazing.
Do
And
you
if
feel
you
like,
are a gamer out there and you don't wear deodorant,
dude? Did you see that Dungeons and Dragons? Are the Magic the Gathering picture that's been going around the internet?
no.
Dude, they had a Magic the Gathering thing, and these chairs they were sitting on when they got off the chairs, it was poop on the actual chairs. It was
Oh,
smeared poop. It was
come
smeared
on.
poop. It was right next to each other too. It's so gross.
That's so nasty.
I saw it today and I'm like, oh my god.
As someone who used to play in some Magic the Gathering tournaments, like I can confirm that there were people who needed to bathe, and either that or it was a tactic and they used it as a weapon. Like they're, like
Poison.
assaulting your smell,
Oh,
your sense of smell. I
so
mean, it
gross.
was so bad. So bad.
Yeah, so nasty. So it was kind of a stealth drop I think it was yesterday, I think. I was at work and I thought it was a joke when I saw it. I thought someone made like a rib. It was like it said NWC challenge from the Nintendo Switch coming soon, July, and I was like, "What?" And I looked up the trailer, and the trailer was pretty cool. They showed but it was weird. This is what I'm saying. They were showing like 1990 stuff, but they showed more 2017 Nintendo World Champion, like the new one, like
Mm-hmm.
which was kind of weird. I don't know if they couldn't get a hold of like the people from the 90s or whatever or what, but I was like, "Where's Thor at?" Like
Yeah. Where's
Thor's
Thor? Where's Robin?
yeah, like these are like big deal things, They got one guy from the 90s and then they do like the whole thing, but come to find out, Nintendo's finally going into their history books, and I think it's very weird, but I understand their mindset with it. But they're doing a NWC challenge. It looks more like NES Remix Part do?
Yeah, it's just a bunch of like small bite-sized challenges rather than what the Nintendo World Championship actually was,
Well, I think it's
which
going to be
was like
online.
strung together. Yeah, it is going to be online. There's going to be leaderboards, but I'm just saying, like, like the original Nintendo World Championship 1990 was get 50 coins in Super Mario Brothers as fast as you can, beat level in Rad Racer as fast as you can, and then the rest of the time you try and get the highest score that you can in Tetris.
Well, I think this too, because I think what's happening is that they're gonna, like what I saw online, I was reading on it, they're gonna have weekly challenges, and I think they're gonna pick 3 random things, and it's gonna be like that, like where you
I
play like a
hope
certain amount of
so.
minutes,
I
and
hope
then
so,
you
but
basically throw your stuff online, for like that.
yeah,
I don't know.
because what they've showed off so far doesn't look like anything that was like in the spirit of the 1990 Nintendo World Championship, and we're not even talking about the fact that they're celebrating the Nintendo World Championship, which was held in 1990 and in 2017, but and this is the NES edition, right? So this would be the perfect place to actually put that ROM of the Nintendo
Yeah, right.
1990 World Championship on there so that people can actually play it, because it doesn't exist in an official capacity outside of the gray and the gold carts that are astronomical and out of unobtainium. I mean, it's insane.
So here's the thing that I saw that was interesting on this. I pulled this out today. This is the
Mm,
NES Remix pack. If you look on the back, it says compete in the Nintendo World Championships remix. So like every game they announced is in this pack. Every game. Every game that Zelda 2, Zelda 1, all these things. So I
yeah,
really do think the theory wise, I think I think it's kind of like a cash grab. Because it's weird too, because you
yeah.
would
It's
assume it's like this is okay, so like people don't realize. So like this is the first time you could ever at least like physically commercially get one on your hands. And this was for retro USB a long time ago. And it, like their card is like this blue and it has like these little little dongle switches. Those are like minutes. And I was like when I saw the release of it, I saw the cart. I was like, "Oh, they're actually going to make like maybe they put the card on the actual thing, you know what I mean?" Which I thought would be pretty cool. And they didn't do that either. It's just like it's like here's a display piece. And I think like they
yeah.
kind of messed it up there. I mean, there's so many NES collectors out there. You could have made like an ultimate edition where you're like, we're remaking NWC cart, and you would have
Yeah.
made tons of money off of it.
Yeah, and it's not going to devalue like the actual ones from 1990. And to avoid the people that are like, well, actually, um, before those retro USB ones were available, they actually made a run of them on Nintendo Age. So there were different colors available in smaller batches on Nintendo Age that exist out there. That was the first time that retro USB made them. So just so no one
Yeah.
corrects us.
Well, no offense to anyone else like this. This is the one that like the Angry Video Game Nerd did his NWC one on there based
Hmm.
on this one right here. But there's also other versions, by the way. We have this one too, which is a 20th anniversary cart, and like this one's signed by Thor and them and by Retro USB as well.
Yeah.
And they got a little gold foiling on there and stuff like that. It's called like a night mode version of the game.
Yeah.
So there's different people out there trying to keep the history alive, you know what I mean? And like I just feel like they kind of dropped the ball with that because I wish they would
Yeah.
drop the ROM on there.
It's absolutely frustrating that Nintendo like they get right to the goal line and then they like fumble, right? Like it's right there. It's right there, and you didn't do it, and it wouldn't have cost you any money. I don't understand the logic behind it, because yeah, like you said, it's kind of a cash grab. It feels like a cash grab because it's all the same games that were available on NES Remix. There's nothing new.
Yep.
I'm honestly not excited about it. Like, I'm excited that they're actually like acknowledging their history, but they fumbled. They totally screwed this up.
The only thing I will say I do like is like the couch co-op stuff. So like you have like a party over and you guys can like verse each other and things like that.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty cool. But the issue that I have with it is that like, yeah, it's great to put a score online. It's great to like that, but like what's wait, is this bragging? Like is this bragging about it, you know what I mean? You could have done something like special for it. Or like check it out, like take some new Switch games that you have, like Zelda Tears of the Kingdom or Mario Wonder and stuff like that, and make like your own NES World Championship thing like out of that. That would have been cool too.
Yeah, and I realize that we're coming across like, Nintendo's doing this thing that they didn't even have to do in the first place. So like, people could say, "Oh, you're not going to be happy no matter what Nintendo does." And you should be happy with what you got. Well, sure, but Nintendo once again, it's just frustrating because they put a product out there, but they didn't. I mean, it's they're kind of tone deaf. Like we're just getting a rehash of something that was already on the Wii U and the 3DS, right? I mean, that's what it feels like.
That's what it feels like when I'm reading this. I'm reading on the Wii U thing. It says it has a Nintendo World Championship mode. So what is that mode in that game too? And when I saw it looks just like Remix. Even the UI for it looks like the NES Remix. And it's like, and it's like, and the NES Remix is like, go through a door. All right, that's how fast you get it. All right, turn into a morph ball. There you go, you're done. And I'm
Yeah.
just curious on. And I might say I don't know anything about it yet.
Yeah,
But
we'll have to play it. Obviously, I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open my copy. But based on what I've seen, I'm not excited about it, and I think they really screwed up. Like they could have done so much more, and they just didn't.
And I don't know. I mean, I don't know when the digital edition is coming out. I don't know if that's coming out prior to the game. I'm more interested to try out the digital version and see what's going on. But also the thing is, it's like what I like about the retro USB release is that they did a whole history thing on it, telling the story about Nintendo World Championships and having people in there. You could have done the little guest sticker things like when you like at the competition.
Yeah.
You could have done like a patch
A
of
patch.
Nintendo World Championship. You could have done, like the Japanese version has Famicom controllers. You could have an NES controller with the Nintendo World Championship sticker on it, and did those with it as a release with it. You know what I mean? Like all these ideas they could have had. I know they have tons of freaking those Switch Online NES controllers, so it's like they could have freaking done that.
Well, this goes back to my frustration and everyone's frustration, really, with these mainline companies like Sony and Microsoft and Atari and Sega and Nintendo that don't do their due diligence whenever it comes to game preservation. They rely on us to do the proper preservation when they have all the materials available to do it better than we could ever do it. But they're not interested in it.
The other thing is that at the competition, there was a Nintendo Power Guide that came out just specifically for the tournament. You could have threw those in that box. That box is that big. I'm like, you can literally just slide it in, and just did a rehash of it. You have all the prints and everything, so it's like it's easy peasy squeezy. So I don't know. I'll have to check it out, but I'm happy that they're going into their history. But I feel like when they made the jump, they didn't stick the landing.
My sentiments exactly.
Also, what the hell? You can't put a little mini trophy in there? A Nintendo World Championships mini trophy? Come on now. You can put a trophy on the outside of it and then not give me a trophy. Come on. How are you going to have bragging rights in your friend's house if you don't have a trophy?
Yeah.
Stick to land, Nintendo.
Well.
Come on now.
Oh, well.
I love you.
I don't know.
Love
it's
you.
Weird.
All right, next, speaking of, companies that are not doing so good right now, Xbox seems to be kind of collapsing under their own success. They had a great game that came out called Hi-Fi Rush that all the fans loved and were really excited for, and it was selling like crazy. And to reward them, they closed the whole company down. And I don't get it. I don't know what's going on with the direction of Xbox, but what do you think is going on currently in Xbox?
It's a big dumpster fire. I mean, ever since the Xbox One came out and they fumbled the launch by forcing Connect on people, making it more expensive, making it. I mean, like, they said that there was going to be DRM on like discs and stuff like that, and they just they didn't come out of the three. They had all the momentum in the world. Like, you're a sports fan, so you know how
Yep.
momentum works, right?
Yep.
Momentum in sports and in really anything is so important. And the 360, Microsoft coming out of that generation and going beyond the Xbox 360 had so much momentum, and they tripped themselves up. It was an unforced error on their part, and they just handed all the success that Sony has had from the PlayStation 4 on. I'm not saying Sony hasn't earned it, but I mean, Xbox certainly hasn't done anything to stop them. Like,
No.
it's an unstoppable freight train right now, Sony. So Xbox is just spiraling down the tube, man.
My problem with it is that I'm gonna say this honestly. No offense to 360 fans like that, but they just don't have a fan base. What
Well, they
has
did.
Xbox?
The 360
They had Halo.
it
But
was a
like, what
rabid
else?
fan base back in the 360 era.
Yeah, but they had like, okay, think about it for example. It's all third party stuff. Like Xbox Live Arcade and freaking like the two games that were really big on the 360 were what? Call of Duty and freaking the zombie game. Left 4 Dead. Those were
Left
the
4
big
Dead, and
ones.
then they had uh Marcus Phoenix with the crap. Gears of War
Yeah, Gears of War. But like
and Halo.
the problem is that like as long as I've been on Xbox, I know I only know them for one game, Halo. One game. And guess what? It wasn't made by their studios, it was made by another company. And so they've always been this third party realm instead of like Nintendo, they have IPs. Sega has IPs. Sony
Sony
has
has
IPs.
IPs.
They have IPs. And even if they don't, they're like, listen, we'll pay you the money to put it on our consoles. Capcom and Konami and all these places, the ones that they had original from the PS1 era, they still have them. And the problem with Xbox, I think, is that Game Pass killed it. They thought that they were going to be the top dog with this Game Pass stuff, and they realized, here's the thing. The idea at first was really smart. Let's help indie developers get their games released on Game Pass so they can make money and they can make profit, things like that. And so everyone was going on Microsoft and doing Game Pass, and then Microsoft was making all this money, and they're like, oh, well, we're going to buy all these companies. But when they buy these companies, they were doing the same thing with 360. They just don't know what to do with them. They bought Bungie, and they bought freaking
Bethesda.
Rare and Bethesda. What has come out by those companies?
And they bought Minecraft.
Yeah, nothing. I mean, like, it's crazy. Like, it's absolutely insane to me that, like, yeah, like my kids like Minecraft and all that type of stuff, but all they do all the time on Minecraft is like DLC. Have you seen a new Minecraft since then? No. They just keep holding on to things and not evolving as as times change. And it's bad, dude. My Series X literally has a Metroid sticker on it. You know why it has a Metroid sticker on it? Because I try to motivate myself to play it, and I still won't play it. It's literally a
I
Killer
can't
Instinct
remember the last
machine.
time I turned on my Xbox. I can't remember.
Exactly.
Actually, I think I do remember it. It was a long time ago. It was like a year ago.
And every time I go into like a game store and look at games, there's nothing different than what PlayStation has.
Yeah,
Nothing.
nothing. I'm
So I'm
not
like,
interested.
well, I'm not interested in it. I'll just play it on PlayStation. It's on third party. So like, why do I care about your company? What makes me want to come to you? When they said the Bethesda, I'm like, okay, game changing. Okay, I like Doom. I like these games. And really, like, what are they working on? They've been working on Elder Scrolls like forever, and not even like a trailer, not even like a little glimpse of it. Nothing. Just clips. It's so bad. so
That
bad.
will
How
be
do
a
you have these
crazy one,
companies?
though.
But like, that's not going to make money back for them. They're going to be developing for years, and guess what? That's
Oh, I
when
know.
it's going to change
Yeah,
again.
too little, too late. I know. Yeah.
The difference, like with Nintendo, is Nintendo will still make great games, but they're going to dribble every little piece of that money out of that system.
Mhm.
And what's funny is they don't realize it. I'm so tired of hearing about graphics. I'm so tired of hearing about it because graphics don't mean shit. It's gameplay. Let these
Yes,
people
I
develop
agree.
the games and let them get their ideas out. You don't know what your customers like. You're just like, well, we're going all digital, and you're going to come to us, and you're going to have to deal with us because there's going to be no physical content anymore, and blah 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 blah. But all that's going to happen in the future is guess what? Capcom's going to have their own digital marketplace. Konami's going to have their own marketplace. It's going to do the same thing like we're dealing with now with a million other
Yeah, with
freaking
streaming
streamer
services.
services. So they're not going to have the grips on everything, and guess what? All their games are third party.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get how they have all this money, but they don't do nothing with it.
Yeah, and we have our friend Alex that we talk to at Ben's Game Zone all the time, and he's Team Xbox all the way, and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I just don't.
It's just hard for me because I'm like, I mean, I think on the first original Xbox, all I played was Halo. It's like, it's weird. Every Xbox series, I've only bought one game for it. All right, Left 4 Dead or Dead Rising. Those are only two games I played on Xbox 360. The
Mm-hmm.
freaking Xbox One, Killer Instinct. Xbox Series X, Killer Instinct, the Complete Edition. I love, here's the thing that drives me nuts. They have the best controller ever made. The best.
It is really nice.
And all they do is just, instead of making games, they just keep updating controllers. It's like, is that how you're gonna get me? Is
Like,
just holding on to
oh,
controllers?
we don't have any more games to sell you guys, no exclusives. But hey, we have a new controller color coming out.
Yeah, and let's make custom
Yeah,
ones. Let's do all this cool
yeah.
stuff.
That's all they ever do is like custom colored controllers anymore.
And dude, there's so many things you can do, like with that box. Like you can make it look like a Microsoft Windows 98 case, like a full case. Some of the old, remember the cases they used to do for 360, like the fronts,
Yeah,
like these are
yeah.
the customized and stuff.
Faceplate.
Like
Uh-huh.
bring it back. If you're gonna do controllers, bring that back.
Yeah, that would have been easy to do.
Yeah, it's just I giggle because I told Ryan that I was like, I showed him a picture and I was like, maybe this will motivate me to play this, and I just put a freaking a Samus logo and a Metroid sticker on top of it, and it has not been touched since. I
Oh
try
man.
Xbox, I try to love you, but you're just that girl I just cannot stand.
Yeah, seriously.
It just sucks.
Yep. And
Well,
them shuttering these three studios, it's just it's another. I mean, there's if you see smoke, there's a fire somewhere. This is more smoke.
they're losing money. I don't care what anyone says. They are losing money, and it's getting real ugly on the streets.
Yeah, people are not happy.
So, next topic is going to be I love it's my series. I love it. I'm getting hyped, getting ready. I'm getting ready for another time here. Resident Evil 9 setting possibly got leaked.
Mm-hmm.
There is a guy named Aesthetic Gamer, and his track record with his leaks are like pretty much like 95% accurate. He's done them for every single game that's been released, like since Resident Evil 2. So the rumor mill is, this is, by the way, I want to put this in context. There's no confirmation of this by Capcom. There's no confirmation this is true, so take this with a little grain of salt bay. All right. He says that the leaks were quite accurate. They said that Capcom has been working on Resident Evil 9 for about 7 years, and developers are initially targeting a January 2025 release, with an official reveal set immediately during the summer game showcases. And they're saying that it's going to be set in a rural village on what is it? Let's see here. I'm sorry about this. I'm trying to read the data. It says It says it's murky, but they believe Chris Redfield's going to be promptly starred in the game, and it's going to be. I'm trying to see. So it's. What was the freaking thing? I know so it's kind of like a kind of rules of the Spanish islands, but it's not. It's in like a Taiwan kind of setting, but it's gonna have like a rural island village setting basically. Very much in the echoes of Resident Evil 4, which is set in the rural village on the Spanish island. Beyond that, the details on where Resident Evil will take the franchise, but they're saying the protagonist might be Rose, which is she's from the daughter from Village, Ethan Winter's daughter.
I say
that's crazy.
Hashtag bring back tofu.
Yes. What's crazy about it is that like think about 7 years. Like is that long? Like they've been developing these games that long, which is like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. It's weird with Capcom. Capcom seems like they're always ahead, like with their projected schedules with everything. They have their dates they're going to drop things on, and they
think about Grand Theft Auto, dude. They've been working on Grand Theft Auto 6 for like 13 or 14 years now.
Yeah, but 7 years. Is this going to be an open world game? Like that's the thing that I don't know is because if you're working on a game for 7 years, that's got to be like an open world type game. That's got to be Grand Theft Auto style. So I don't know.
Could be.
It says rural island village setting, very much in the echoes of Resident Evil 4, which I understand because Resident Evil 4 right now is so hot right now. That's like Zoolander. Sexy Leon is at an all-time high. I hope. I love the Resident Evil 4 one, but I hope they do it more like Village. I really do. I like Village more than Resident Evil 4, the remake. I mean, I think Village is just awesome. I loved playing it in VR. I love playing the castle. I loved all the craziness in the game. It's just super cool. I like the gothic old school theme to it. No offense to Resident Evil 4, but I just feel like I just don't want Capcom going back to action. Please don't put a Resident Evil 6 to me again. I don't need this in my life. I don't need a Resident Evil 5. I need Chris punching boulders. Please, God, stay away from the action.
You don't want the real time events.
You know what I want back?
The quick time events. Excuse me.
I want Wesker back. Give me Wesker back. That's what I want. Give me some Barry. Where's Barry? Where's Barry been doing?
Barry. Yeah.
Where's Barry been doing?
Bring back Barry.
I want an old fucking Kenny Rogers looking Barry. That's what I want. He come out there, you know when to hold him, know when to fold him.
What do you think? A long way to go and a short time to get there.
Yes.
Sorry.
What do you think that would you play an open world Resident Evil game?
Absolutely. I would play a Resident Evil Metroidvania. Resident Evil, the established franchise and all of its canon would work in almost any setting, dude. Like in almost any genre of video game, you could make a Resident Evil game, and it'd be successful if it was done right.
I always have a question for you. Would you love another RE1 remake in current gen, like the way they're making the games right now? Because there was a rumor mill that they were talking about that too. Like
RE1, I don't think it needs to be done.
I think if they did it correctly, like how they made RE2, like with the zombies are kind of chaotic and kind of things like that, maybe. But I feel that I'm hoping Veronica will get the next nod on the next game.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But by the way, Capcom, I don't need another Chris Redfield statue, please. I need someone new. Give me a Wesker statue, something. I don't even care if he's in the game. Just give me a different statue. I literally have Chris and Leon and Jill. That's it. Like there's so many characters. Yeah. To give me a tofu. Give me a tofu statue. I'll make that happen. Hell yeah. So, next topic, we found out today that the World Video Game Hall of Fame 2024 was announced. So, there were some people that didn't get into the club. And
I haven't even read these, so this is going to be news to me, and this is going to be my real-time reaction.
So, The class of 2024 was selected by experts from among 12 finalists that
Expert.
also
I
included,
would love to
which
know
did,
who these experts are.
Billy Mitchell.
Mm.
So in this category, they did not make it. Elite, which I don't know what that game is.
No,
Guitar
neither.
Hero,
Okay. Didn't
Metroid,
make it.
Neopets
Metroid didn't make it?
did not. Toki Meki Memorial, I think it's called. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, and you don't know Jack did not make it.
Okay. Wow. So what did make it?
So the Hall of Fame inducted its 10th class of honorees Thursday, recognizing Asteroids,
Okay.
Myst,
Okay.
Sim City,
Okay.
Ultima,
Okay.
and Resident Evil OG.
Oh.
OG Resident
Wow.
Evil long box made it in.
I can't disparage any of those choices because each of them had their own importance.
Here's my problem. No, I hate to say this, and I love Resident Evil. Don't get me wrong, great game. But no offense, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater is like loved across all genres and generations.
Oh, it was groundbreaking whenever it came out.
There's not one person that had a PlayStation did not have Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. I think that was a slight. No offense to Sim City. I understand the reasoning behind it, but I think Ultima is more popular than Sim City. Like where did you go home and be like, I'm gonna play Sim City?
So like the only one on that list that I really have a problem with is Asteroids. I understand that it was super popular at the time, but it doesn't have the longevity of a Resident Evil or an Ultima or a what are the other ones on the list? SimCity.
Well, here's the thing. I think they have to kind of throw in like an arcade game. I think it has to
They
happen.
don't have to. No. I don't think so.
Asteroids is.
I mean, I can understand like Donkey Kong or like Space Invaders, but Asteroids, no.
It's very wild. I like when I saw Resident Evil, I was like, I cannot believe it got in. Like I was like, I mean, I could see it's like a tier game. Yeah, I get it. The history's there. It's the first survival horror game. Like but really not. It's really not. It's
the
Sweet
most.
Home.
It's what made survival horror popular.
Correct. So I get their mindset on it, but like Metroid is like a big freaking. There's so many games in it. You know what I mean? Same thing with Resident Evil. Like that.
I mean, I don't know if Castlevania's in already, but if Castlevania doesn't get in before Metroid, the entire Hall of Fame is tainted.
No, I want you to put in Clue Clue Land before Castlevania. That's what I want. I want that. I want that to happen. So experts, if you hear this, please, for the love of God.
Yeah, what are these experts? Like, if they were actually like real experts, they would have asked you and me. So I challenge these experts' credibility.
I think John Hancock had something to do with putting asteroids in there. I'm just saying.
Shout
out the Immortal. He's like, wait a minute, you put in asteroids right now.
Yeah, he watches his podcast. He's like, oh,
he is waving the Atari flag right now. He's like, yeah, buddy.
Him and John Hardy.
Yep.
Freaking 8-bit Atari.
That's right. But like here's the thing, like Guitar Hero, like holy shit, like how did that not get in? That goddamn game was so dang popular.
I know, it was culturally important too.
Yep.
Like that sparked an entire like I mean that revived parties. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, it got a whole new kid of generations to play guitar and instruments and things. It really did. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people that couldn't like learn how to play guitar and stuff like that gets to feel like what it's like to be a rock star. Play your favorite songs. Joke around with your friends at the house. Like
yeah.
I
think the best thing that came out of Guitar Hero was that South Park episode, though.
Yes, Randy. You play a real guitar? Are you a baby? No, my funniest thing that I loved with Guitar Hero is I love when people eat crap and they can't get back onto the thing. So it goes that weird sound, and it makes me
Yeah.
laugh every time because then it ruins the song and the song just goes completely quiet. That makes me laugh every time I see someone go through that. It's so
Okay,
embarrassing.
so I had I don't know if you ever met Greg Dunstan before.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so yeah, he was a little before you got to off it, but you would have loved him. Everybody loves Greg. He's over in Kadena right now. He's a field service rep for the RC-135s. But he and my brother were over at one of our apartments when I was living in an apartment in Bellevue, and we were playing Guitar Hero in my game room, and like I kept starting this song over and over again because like they kept messing it up. I'm like, no, we're gonna get this right. Like, I mean, like I must have started it over like 15 times
That's so
and
funny.
just got more and more like loud and animated, just to be ridiculous.
So funny. But
Yeah,
like
Greg was about to pee his pants.
no offense to, like, Jack, but like I don't even think why that should even be on the list. No offense to it. I think Jackbox could be like a lot more involved
No,
in
you
that,
don't know Jack. I mean, like it had its place in if you're talking about like quiz games, that's it. I mean, that's the most popular one, right? You're not gonna go for like Quiz Whiz or what's the one with the like colorful controllers on the PS2?
Yeah, that's
Um,
Jack. I
no,
have
that's
it.
not Jack. No, it's Quiz
Uh,
something.
I know what you're
Quiz
talking about.
Pop. I don't know.
So yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can't think of it, but yeah, like I don't know. It's a very weird selection that they had. I want to see what other ones they had. They were the finalists. These were finalists, by the way, too. Like that were not picked.
Yeah, you know what? You experts, ask us next year.
Yeah,
Ask
ask
us.
ask Dan Gleebits
Bring some
about how he feels about it.
legitimacy. Bring some legitimacy to this video game Hall of Fame, and ask MAGDX.
Yeah, and here's the thing too. Every game that Jeff likes is definitely out of competition. So screw Turf Masters, you're out. You're not coming in.
No, Neo Turf Masters is
No, it's
an
not.
honorary.
No,
It's
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 not.
already in.
Nope.
Yep, honorary
Nope.
doctorate.
Nope. Not
hmm
happening. Nope. Not on my watch.
Sorry, them's the rules.
I'm gonna throw that $10,000 game in the trash.
What is Jeff's favorite game?
I don't know.
I think it's like what's that one where you like operate on people on the DS?
Oh yeah, I know. God dang it! I
I
bought
can
it from
picture
Melissa.
it.
I bought it from Melissa, and she like loved it. Where you like
Yeah, I
cut
can
open.
picture it, but I just can't remember. I just picture him like on his breaks, like playing that game.
What is it? Uh, Super Prostate Maker.
Super Prostate Bros.
He just makes prostates all day, and then tries to get through the level.
Yeah,
Mega Jeff, Super Prostate Maker on Neo
poor
Geo.
Jeff. Poor Jeff.
No, no, him and Duff can bite it today. That's right.
Duff.
You gotta call numbers while we're trying to do podcasts. Come on now. He
Yeah.
just know. I think he like can sniff us out. Like he's like, they're making a podcast right now. I'm gonna call him.
Oh gosh.
Oh my goodness.
Dude, I was looking up the numbers for like adjusted for inflation because I knew the 3DO at the time was really high, and so was the Neo Geo at the time.
Expensive.
3DO was Neo Geo was released in 1990 for like $650, and then the 3DO was in 1993 for $700. Adjusted for inflation, that was around like $1,400
Well,
for a
you're
game
getting a home.
system.
Well, like Neo Geo, you're getting a home arcade in the house. Like that's nuts.
Yeah.
That's way high, above my pay grade. That was like a car. That's a car
What?
price back then.
I know. Yeah, and dude, So I was like researching some stuff. I think I was looking at like the Intellivision or something like that, and then I went on to the VCS, the Atari, and like adjusted for inflation, it's like $1,000. $1,000.
Crazy.
How did anyone play video games back then?
Well, it always makes me laugh when people are like, "Oh, I can't pay for that price," and then you look at like what the price was like for like Chrono Trigger. It was like fucking
Yeah.
$99 fucking dollars.
Oh
Like,
yeah, I
Jesus
remember
Christ.
Street Fighter Championship Edition on Sega Genesis was like $85 at launch.
I got mine for 30. I got mine at a used store for $30.
Yeah. I mean, it's a miracle that games are only $70 now at retail, because it's definitely not gone up with inflation.
Well, the new hustle is going to be there's going to be no physical media, and you're going to be paying the same price like you got physical media, and then you don't even own the licensing. So
That's
yeah,
true.
you coming?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It's funny to me that like Nintendo, them were their own enemies back then, because like, why did we rent games? Because one, we couldn't afford those damn games, especially a family, and then two, you're gonna get mad about it because we're freaking. It makes me laugh because I was playing Mad City, the Bayou Billy, and I heard that this rumor, and the reason why I was so interested in it is they said that it was way easier than the one they released to us.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to check it out. So I put it on, right, and I kicked this dude twice, and he just died. And I was like, "What?" I was like, "What?" You know how many times you have to kick him in the NES version of that game?
I don't remember. I remember
Dude,
renting
like
that game and like having. Yeah, I remember renting the game and having like all sorts of trouble with it.
Yeah, and dude, it's like I was telling Melissa, I was like, it was like I was like the Famicom one was like I was just on this smooth yacht just cruising along, and then the other one for the Konami one for the United States, it's like a freaking bumpy tugboat just going like this,
Like the
wrecking
Titanic.
me. Yeah, it's horrible, horrible. And that's what's so funny to me, because Japanese were so mad at us for making these rental stores because we were poor. They're like, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna make all their US games even harder. Like Bare Knuckle 3 is like that. You play on the Sega, I can't even get past like 3 levels on that game. But the one for Japan, I can beat it in one sitting. It's crazy.
It's funny how that works. And then, opposite, whenever Super Mario Brothers 2 came out in Japan and was tested for the US market, they thought it was going to be too hard, and that's why we got what we got for Mario 2 and not what Japan got. That's why we got Doki Doki Panic.
I love Doki. Doki all day. It's like my favorite Mario game. I hate to say it's like my favorite Mario game. Really
honestly, dude, you're preaching to the choir here, because the entire Super Mario Brothers Super Show was based on Mario 2. Freaking awesome.
All the promo stuff too. It's great. And like what I liked about it, so it makes me more laugh. You ever played the GBA version of the game, right?
Yeah.
The only thing I wish they would have had back in the day is all those Mario one-liners like "Lucky" and like Ooh.
No, that'd be so annoying.
It's so funny. I love it. God dang, that thing is freaking sweet. The other thing I like with Mario 2 I like the bad guys. I like that they have like the most weird guys. I love the 3-headed snake. I love the crab.
Tri-Clyde.
Yep.
Yeah, Claw Grip.
I love the cool Mouser, throwing bombs and stuff. Like, it's just, it's so dang appropriate. And what's so funny is they don't even have Wart. Like, they have never used Wart again. Like, how has that happened?
I think he had a cameo in Legend of Zelda: Link's Awakening. That's it. That's his last appearance.
But why couldn't they make a new Mario game with him? Like, you had Wonder. How about it would have been cool if they were then thrown out like it was Wart at the end?
Seriously, yeah, dude. Yeah. Some sort of callback. My gosh, poor Wart.
It's just wild. Yeah, the funny thing I also thought was hilarious. I'm like at the end I beat it. I'm like, oh, it's a dream. Great. This game it's not even real.
It was all a dream. It's the lost ending. Whoever made the Lost TV show played too much Mario 2 as a kid.
Yeah, I thought they never made that I thought they should have. They should have made a Captain N game. Like I don't understand how
Mm-hmm.
that like they did not.
Well, no. It's easy to see why. I mean, I can't believe that they pulled off like getting Konami and Capcom and like all these other IPs together, right? Because you got Mega Man, you got Simon Belmont, you got the Game Boy, you got Mother Brain. It's a whole bunch of different companies. So like the Konami and Capcom working together on a game back then would have been like groundbreaking.
Hell yeah, that would have been freaking sick.
Mm-hmm.
They were the best third party developers. They were.
Yeah.
I love everything from Konami. Really, do I like Track and Field? How do you like Track and Field? Like a
Track
game?
and Field is an awesome game. That
Track and
game is
Field 2 is my
awesome.
favorite. Track
Oh
and
no.
Field 2 is.
Track
You ever played
and Field 1 is way better.
Dude, I'm telling you, we should have over your house the arm wrestling tournament on that game. It is hilarious.
Oh, there's arm wrestling on number 2?
Dude, did you know there's not over the top on Track and Field 2?
I didn't know that.
Dude, when you get done here, go on YouTube and look up the arm wrestling thing for that. Dude, it's literally the guys from Over the Top. It's literally Sylvester Stallone. One guy looks like Sylvester Stallone, and one looks like that bald guy, the bad guy in the Over the Top movie. It literally looks like them. You'll laugh your ass off when you see it. They
Is there
literally
a
took it.
sweet semi in the back that you can
No.
win?
So they have like the bell, and you can see like the arm, like the veins clenching, like when they're putting the arm. But dude, all it is it's you just dragging buttons against your between two people, and whoever can drag the buttons the most wins. It's so funny, dude. I've gotten blisters from that game playing with my cousins.
Dude. Yeah, well, that's the thing about Track and Field. If you don't have a turbo controller, you can forget it. Like
My other one I love is
tunnel or a turbo controller.
The other two I like is fencing, and I also like high dive. I don't care what anyone says. High dive is the shit because you can like flip the person, you can do all these flips and stuff. And then I always laugh at the judges because the judges never give me good scores. It's like 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, and then like the last guy's always nice. It's like 3.5.
You had 3 Russian judges and 1 from the U.S.
It's so funny. And that's why I love that like back then they did a lot of creativity stuff with their games. Like who's going to go to the store like, Zelda or Track and Field 2? I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what's funny about, and actually like this is a good segue to something that I was going to mention. I'm working on another article, and I was trying to do some research on the original cost of a certain game for this article, and I couldn't find it, but I did stumble upon the Internet Archive has scanned copies of the Sears catalogs.
Oh,
Like the complete Sears catalogs.
I used to stock those catalogs.
Oh, of course, we all did. Yeah, so I immediately went back to the electronics section with all the Nintendo stuff and like looked at the prices, and I'm like, oh my gosh, people paid that much for Airwolf?
Yeah, so bad, dude. You're playing with death when you walked in those stores, man, because you're just like, is this game good or not good? That's why Reynolds was so much great because you could test them out and try them out.
Well, yeah, there's no YouTube.
Shit,
Kids, there was no YouTube back then. If you didn't have a friend who bit the bullet and got the bad game, then you might get the bad game. Like there was no knowing.
You could trade, but you could like that. I had a scenario where a dude told me how great a game was, and he traded me the game, and then he never came back. And he got my good game, and I got the shitty game, and I had to play that shitty game forever. I hated it. Absolutely hate it.
What's the worst game you ever bought that you didn't know anything about?
Dude, that is so hard. I'll tell you one that like really pissed me off, and I don't care what anyone says, and I have it up here. I'll show it to you. I got this. So I thought this was like going to be fucking like Double Dragon because I had Double Dragon. I'm like, this is
Mhm.
awesome. Dude, this game sucks and it's hard as hell. And like I thought, I don't get it. Like
Look at that box art. The back of the box is so terrible. My gosh.
so this scene right here, right?
Who
The
designed that?
the subway one. All they would do was knock me off in that dirt, and then like when you get kicked off, there's a guy that just talks trash to you. And dude, I was infuriated about this game, and I literally traded it into a computer store we had like locally in DC, and I got tag team wrestling. And by the way, tag team wrestling was worse than this game, so I got this. This was better than that, and I'm like, now I got another shitty game. So I got a double fucking feast of shitty games.
I want to say that for one of my birthdays, like my mom took me to KB Toys and like let me pick a game. But that happened a couple times, but not. I mean, it wasn't like every year or whatever. Like we barely bought any games. But I remember getting Little Nemo Game Master because it was like half off. I got it for like $30 one year, and then but another year I picked for some reason. I have no idea why. Maybe I saw Nintendo Power and thought it looked cool. The one that sticks out to me that was terrible that I had no idea what I was getting into was Eight Eyes.
I liked Eight Eyes. I thought it was like
You
Castlevania.
liked Eight Eyes? Oh, I don't.
It had a bird, and you had like the
Yeah, it had
bird
a
can
bird. Yeah,
like
that's
you
all
can
it had.
attack with stuff.
It had
Like
a bird.
I don't know. I thought this is what I thought when I was a kid. I thought like it was part of Castlevania because the way you like went down the stairs and the
Yeah,
other thing.
yeah.
What is by
That's
the way?
probably what like made me gravitate toward it, honestly.
What's so funny about it is like I don't understand what the crosses are. Like when you attack an enemy and they like float the crosses. Like I don't know anything about it. I think it's one of those games you have to like look at the instructions to like figure out like what the hell's going on with it. Because it doesn't make sense. The other one I got and I was really mad about was what was it Shinobi. I was really excited for Shinobi, and the Shinobi NES game is absolute trash. So bad.
You should have got Wrath of Black Manta.
I like Wrath of Black Manta.
Me too.
It's a nice mystery game. You fight that giant biker that's like the giant. He's like this big on the screen.
Yeah.
So bad. But yet I don't know. Like it was always hit and miss. But like once I actually had a lot of very good games because my cousin introduced me to Contra. I had friends that introduced me like the Kid Nicky. Remember that one?
Yeah, I love Kid Nicky. That's a good one.
Double Dribble, Karnoff. Like I told you, I went over this dude's house. I don't remember it vividly. My cousin like invited me over, and this guy had like every Nintendo game. And dude, I did not sleep. I was like just popping in games. I love Jaws. I found out I love Jaws there. Ghostbusters was horrible. I played that there. I was like, it's trash.
Yeah.
It's where I played Mega Man for the first time. And so it was awesome. Ninja Gaiden. But like, Ninja Turtles 1 was kind of a pain in the ass. It was good, but
I don't know what happened between whenever I was a kid and growing up now, but I could actually beat that game back then. I had the patience for it.
I got to the airport and I was just confused by the map. The map just confused the shit out of me.
Yeah, dude, I had no problem with that map.
You're a lucky person, man. Those freaking things that game makes me the water level. I used to get hot, like especially when I was running out of time and running around trying to run to that last bomb, or you missed a bomb. Oh man, you want to talk about a hot person? You talk about a hot person missing a bomb? Like I missed a fucking bomb. Like I got to the last bomb and like the timer's still going off. I'm like, what the hell? And I always missed the one that was in the corner.
So they should it's too bad that I mean, and this would never happen because obviously all these companies have all these IPs and own everything, but that'd be amazing if like someone made a fan game of all of those frustrating parts, like just pick and choose frustrating parts from different games, and then that's what you have to play. So like you go from that to the turbo tunnel in Battletoads to you know what I'm saying? Like
I've never beat it on the NES, by the way, the Turbo Tunnel. Like I beat
me
it on the
neither.
Sega.
Me neither.
The Sega, I've beaten it. I can beat the Sega one like no problem.
That
But
turbo
the
tunnel is
NES one,
way too long. Way too long.
Rare is a bunch of trolls, man. Oh my god. I don't even know how they got that speed on an NES cart. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Every level is a troll level. They had like the snake one where you had to climb all the snakes and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
No offense to it. It looks like a frog climbing a penis. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. They I don't know. They try to hide it, but the way he grabs is just completely inappropriate.
Yeah.
Completely inappropriate. The freaking wood level, like we had to jump over the wood things. They got tornadoes and stuff like that. I hate that game. God, I love it, but I hate it. Just like trash. That would be a funny game though. Like just like having you jump game to game like Ghosts and
Yeah,
Goblins.
just the worst part, like what people consider the hardest parts of every game. And then the final boss, the final game that you have to play is Miracle Piano.
Oh no. No way. Color a dinosaur.
Color. No.
Imagine getting that as a kid. Like all those NES games, you got to color the dinosaur.
Oh man. Okay, so the one that pissed me off the most that I rented that I had for the entire weekend, and I was done. I was sick of it for 5 minutes in. Where's Waldo?
Oh yeah, that sucks.
It's so bad.
So bad.
So bad.
Great books, but so bad.
Yeah, not a good NES game.
Like who thought they're like, yeah, dude, Waldo's pretty popular. Some kid will buy it. They had two of them, by the way. They had two different versions of that game, like a blue and a yellow. I think. So bad. Speaking of Waldo, I think we need to disappear out of here before we get too late. Do you have anything you want to plug, sir?
Oh yeah. So I mentioned that I'm starting a new project, and that is what I'll plug. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right here. This is the first time I'm telling the public.
Exclusive.
Yeah, so I started my third book today. You know what? I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want anyone beating me to the punch.
G14
So I'm not going to say what it is.
G14.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry. That was a tease. Teased you guys.
Yep, he doesn't kiss on the first date. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, so I once I'm almost complete with the book, then I'll tell you what it is.
Well, you can find me at GI Gamer 1981 on Facebook and Instagram. If you want to watch the worst unboxing video I've ever done in my entire life, on there, I did Castlevania Advanced Collection, the deluxe edition, if you will. And boy, did I have a lot of trouble doing an unboxing. I don't think I'll ever do unboxings after our show. I was more interested in myself enjoying it than I was to show off what it was. I gotta get a table and a camera or something. I gotta do something. I am terrible at unboxings. I should have everything displayed out and show it. But Limited Run, man, by the way, fuck, man, like there's so much shit in there.
I know.
Like, here's a keychain, here's a map. And they're all in different little boxes. So like I'm just completely baffled by it. So bad. You can also follow him at Premium Edition Games. He has his books on there for his Video Game Collector's Field Guide.
Or at VGCollectorGuide.com if you want to go there and learn more about my books.
Yep. Also, you want to support him. He does do. They do releases for indie developed games. They get the indie developers to have physical releases on Premium Edition, so you definitely should support them. You know, they are an amazing crew and pretty awesome to do that for the indie developers out there, especially on the Switch. And PlayStation soon, which I'm pretty excited. Boy, the PlayStation fanboy in me can't wait to get some games from you.
We have got a huge list of PlayStation games.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Thank you guys for supporting us. You can support us on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. If you type in MAGDX, you will find our beautiful faces on there. Probably in some awkward thumbnails.
Don't Photoshop that.
Oh, I'm going to. It's going to happen. I'm going to Photoshop the shit out of something. I'm probably going to Photoshop this. This is probably going to be our thumbnail this week. I'm going to let you know right now.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for supporting us. We'll see you guys next week. And remember to collect no player games. You can't enjoy them if you don't even touch them. Have a good day. Later.
Later, guys.